What did you think of the scene when Katie Kelly was the lead actress? She plays my daughter during the scene with the police officer when she was patting her down and giving her the urine test. I know that was my friend Gemma that was in that scene. The actress, she's an actual Philly cop.
Oh, really?
In the one scene, where she was like against the wall, Kristen McCusker. So she's so scary in it because she was a 15-year veteran of the Philadelphia Police Department.
Yeah, that was they did it. They built it up, and I could feel the tension, and the nervousness and the first time that happens to you, even as a guy, the first time when you ever experience having to dress down, squat, cough, be naked in front of everybody. And she was by herself when you're literally, unless you get arrested by yourself, but usually you're like within a group and you're all just naked right in front of each other doing that. So
that's what Gemma said.
Yeah. It's very degrading. It's humiliating. There's just so many things that are wrong with that. And for people that are already traumatized from whatever it is, the reason why they're using. And my biggest thing now, since having gone through all of that, is I think the number one public safety issue should be untreated trauma, because that's what spurs all of the problems. When you're running around having all of these traumatic events in your life that have happened to you, and you've got nowhere to go with them, and you just try to self-medicate and just wish it away, but the problem isn't, the problem is within you, not anywhere else. And you have to come to terms with whatever traumatic events in your life that have happened. I mean, I can't speak to, rape or any of those other things, but I mean, I can't imagine like a woman having to go through that, and right. I believe that there was a traumatic event that happened in that movie as well. That kind of spurred that on.
Yes.
And I don't think that's more common than I think people understand.
We want the film. We wanted to be respectful of people who have gone through trauma, like you said, not have a stigma to it, not to blame the mother or the parents or the drug addict, and just to know that it can happen to anybody at any time. And that was the message of the film. And to show that there's hope at the end too. Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue is really involved with it, and Alan Kovac, who managed Motley Crue, who's seen so many drug addicts because he's been in the music industry for so long, bought the film. So they just did a really great job of supporting us and wanting the original movie at the end was so horribly sad that it just ended that way. And the focus groups were so devastated. They wanted us to add another ending so that it showed some hope at the end. And that's what we did. Yeah.
Well, I got me.
I was crying. I was crying at the end too, and that was my scene. But you're like, this is so sad, and it is. It's heartbreaking. But there were quite a few families that came on set as extras, especially at the end. They wanted to be there to support the film, and that was really hard to do a scene in front of them, acting out what they've actually experienced. That was really challenging. You don't want to do a disservice to a mother who's actually buried her son. So that was challenging.